Ziggy forces Dean to make amends with Levi, and orders the pair to head off together to talk things through. Dean grumbled but relented, and the two men set off down a dusty trail, their forced truce hanging like a storm cloud. Back at the car, Mackenzie and Ziggy leaned against the hood, the midday heat shimmering off the asphalt. Their quiet wait shattered when two figures emerged from the glare, prison escapees, their green uniforms stained with sweat and dirt, eyes wild with desperation. Ziggy's breath caught as recognition hit. These weren't strangers offering help. "Can we help you?" Mackenzie asked, her tone sharp but steady. Before Ziggy could warn her, the men surged forward, shoving them into Dean and Ziggy's car. "Drive." The taller one snarled, jabbing a finger toward the state border. Ziggy's hands trembled as she gripped the wheel, the engine roaring to life under duress. Nearby, Dean and Levi trudged back toward the car park, their conversation a minefield of barely concealed disdain. "You don't rate me, mate, I see it," Levi spat, his frustration boiling over. "And trust me, I'm not losing sleep over you either." "Let's just get back," Levi muttered, but the words died as they crested the hill. Dean's car peeled out of the lot, tires screaming against the pavement. Mackenzie's face flashed at the window, her desperate cry of "Dean!" cut short as a thick arm coiled around her neck, dragging her back inside. "Ziggy!" Dean bellowed, breaking into a sprint with Levi right behind. The car shrank into the distance, swallowed by the horizon, leaving them panting and powerless. Levi threw his hands up, cursing the sky, but Dean was already moving. He snatched a jagged rock and smashed it through the window of a parked sedan, glass exploding in a glittering arc. Diving inside, he clawed at the wires, sparks snapping beneath his fingers. "What are you doing?" Levi shouted, his voice tight with panic. "The girls are in danger," Dean growled, the engine coughing to life. "You gonna stand there or get in?" Patrick O'Connor teased the stakes to TV Week. "It's a pressure cooker. Dean and Levi are oil and water, forced to team up in this nightmare. Levi's by the book, Dean's a wild card. It's raw and messy." Levi fumbled for his phone. "We need the police, no cops," Dean snapped, slamming the car into gear. "We just jacked this thing. Move." The stolen sedan fishtailed onto the coastal road, chasing the faint dust trail of their kidnapped partners while Ziggy, pale and terrified, obeyed her captor's every command. Inside the fleeing car, the leader's voice dripped with menace. "No witnesses," he muttered to his partner, who smirked in agreement. The words hung heavy, a death sentence unspoken but understood, leaving Ziggy and Mackenzie to silently tally their dwindling odds. A secret Ziggy carried made every second excruciating. She was 13 weeks pregnant. I've got morning sickness," she stammered, stalling as nausea churned in her gut. Mackenzie played along, her eyes widening as she realized it wasn't a ruse. Ziggy's fear now had a deeper pulse. The car hit a rut, jolting them violently. Mackenzie and the leader slammed against their seats, and in a chaotic blur, the second escapee flew out the passenger door, his body cartwheeling across the road. Had Ziggy swerved on purpose? Had the men turned on each other? Dust clouded the mystery as the car sped on. Dean and Levi roared up moments later, skidding to a stop beside the crumpled figure in a roadside field. "Where are they?" Dean roared, his fist twitching as the injured man groaned incoherently. Levi grabbed Dean's arm, pulling him back from the edge of violence. "He's useless, calm down." In Ziggy's car, the leader's tone turned lethal. "Say goodbye to your mate," he hissed, his hand moving with grim intent. Mackenzie's screams erupted. "No, no, no, please don't," her voice cracking under the weight of terror. Minutes later, Dean and Levi's stolen car screeched to a halt. Dean's vehicle sat abandoned in a sun-scorched field, doors flung open, the boot yawning wide. Ziggy and Mackenzie were gone, the silence louder than any scream. Dean's fists clenched as the coastal wind carried a faint, mocking echo of their pleas. Could they claw their way to a rescue before the escapees' promise became a blood-soaked reality? The clock was a guillotine, and every tick sharpened its blade.